Police making progress in murder of 8-year-old. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The police high command in Jamaica said that it is making progress in the investigation into the abduction and murder of 8-year-old Danielle Rowe. A female suspect was captured last week in connection with Danielle's murder. She is being questioned in the presence of her attorney. Deputy Commissioner in charge of crime Fitz Bailey said that the suspect is to face an identification parade which is scheduled for this week. Danielle was abducted from Brayton Primary and Infant School in Portmore, St. Catherine on June 8. She was later found in St. Andrew with her throat slashed. She died a few days later in a hospital. A St. Catherine businesswoman has been charged with fraud on allegations of failing to return close to $1 million she received from a woman for a hotel booking. 39-year-old Kenisha Burrell of Phoenix Park in Portmore in St. Catherine has been charged with fraudulent conversion. From January to April, the complainant allegedly paid Miss Burrell $992,000 for reservations to be made at a five-star hotel, all-inclusive. On the date of checking, Miss Burrell reportedly contacted the woman and told her there was no vacancy at the hotel and that she would be refunded in full. But the woman was reportedly only refunded $70,000 out of $992,000. The husband of one of the elderly women who was killed in Grange District in Hanover last Saturday is now in police custody. According to the police, the 84-year-old farmer surrendered to the Lucy police station on Friday and has since confessed to killing his wife, 80-year-old retiree Tika Anderson Nesbet, and her caregiver, 73-year-old Patsy Allen. The police had reported that on August 12, Miss Allen was found by a family member in her Kendall District home about 5 p.m. She was taken to hospital where she was pronounced dead. 2 hours later, Miss Anderson's Nesbet was found dead in her house by a relative. She had been stabbed in her head. Her husband had been missing since the discoveries, and initially there had been concerns that he too might have been harmed. Now the question is, why did he kill them? Detectives of the Criminal Investigation Branch in St. Ann are probing the circumstances which led to the murder of a 55-year-old man at his home in Cave Valley on Friday morning. The body of Emerald Cameron was found inside his home at Coffee Ridge in Cave Valley about 2 o'clock. Members of his family are under investigation in connection with his death. Investigators said that Mr. Cameron reportedly came home drunk and started throwing stones on his sister's house. This reportedly led to a clash involving Mr. Cameron, his sister, and another member of her household. The police were called to the location and Mr. Cameron was found inside his house lying on the bed with stab wounds. A piece of block was also found beside his body on the bed. A 72-year-old man accused of killing his sister during a dispute over a piece of land in St. Ann has been charged with murder. Stanley Brady, an electrician of Garvey Mead in Portmore in St. Catherine, was charged Thursday with the murder of 59-year-old Lynette Brady, a resident of Tickets Avenue in Discovery Bay. And investigators reported that Brady went to the home of his sister last Saturday. The two got into a dispute over the ownership of a piece of land. And during the dispute, Brady allegedly used a machete and a knife to inflict wounds to his sister. Miss Brady ran after she got stabbed but collapsed in her neighbor's yard. Police retaliated by attacking Brady, who was rescued by a police team that was called to the scene. The siblings were rushed to hospital where Miss Brady was pronounced dead and her brother admitted, and he's to be booked to appear in court next week. A licensed firearm holder who is a former member of the Jamaica Defense Force was gunned down at his gate early Friday morning in Old Harbor in St. Catherine. He is 69-year-old Clifford Edwards, otherwise called Black Puss of Old Harbor Glades, and his firearm was also stolen. It's reported that about 1 a.m. the former soldier was at his gate in his community when explosions were heard. He was found suffering from gunshot wounds by residents who went to investigate. A gunman in St. James sprayed a man with bullets during an attack on Wagon Wheel District in Lilliput, St. James on Saturday. The deceased, who is identified as 36-year-old George Graham, a farmer from Wagon Wheel District, died on the spot after he was reportedly shot more than 10 times by the gunman. It was reported that around 2:10 p.m., Graham parked his vehicle and was about to alight when a white Nissan motorcar drove up and a man armed with a firearm approached the driver's side of Graham's car. Police said the man fired a barrage of bullets hitting Graham in the upper body. The gunman then escaped. Graham was confirmed dead at hospital. A St. James man accused of killing 5 people in separate incidents will have to adjust to the confines of the lockup as no bail application was made on his behalf when he appeared in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday. Kitson Reed, who had previously appeared in court on a double murder charge, returned to court on Wednesday for a triple murder charge. In relation to the triple murder, the allegations are that the incident took place on June 2nd at a section of the Roehampton community known as Mars of Gaza Lane, and it resulted in the death of three cousins: 38-year-old Conroy Lawrence, otherwise called Beanie, a supermarket worker; Siobhan Gordon, otherwise called Kong, a shopkeeper; and 50-year-old Carlisle Morris, otherwise called Shutter. Reports are that about 9:30 p.m., the men were at a shop operated by Gordon when they were ambushed by armed men who shot them multiple times. The gunmen then escaped. Gordon and Lawrence were reportedly killed on the spot, while Morris was taken to hospital, where he died the following day. Reed's other case in court involves the murder of 23-year-old farmer Liston Anderson and 20-year-old Tavar Doman at Roehampton on May 31st, just 2 days before the triple killing. According to police reports, about 10:30 p.m., the men were at a location in the community when a gunman approached them and shot both. Another man was injured during the incident. The police were summoned and Anderson and Doman were seen suffering from gunshot wounds. They later died of their injuries in hospital. On to sports. Olga Carmona, whose goal won the Women's World Cup for Spain on Sunday, learned after the game that her father had died. He had been ill and died while Carmona's mother and other relatives traveled to Australia to watch her play in the finals. The family decided to wait until after the title celebrations to give Carmona the news. And after the final whistle, she was among the Spanish players celebrating and dancing on the field and appeared to participate normally during the trophy presentation. And in a highly contested game, Spain beat England 1-0 to win the Women's World Cup. And in the World's Athletic Championship, Jamaica is expected to do very well today, being day 3. In the men's 400 meters hurdle in the semifinals, we have Jahil Hyde in Heat 1, Rushane Clark in Heat 3, and in the men's triple jump final, we have Jaden Hibbert. In the men's 110 meters hurdle, we have Orlando Bennett and also Hansley Parkman in Heat 3. Three women are in the semifinals of the 100 meters. We have Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Sasha Lee Forbes, and Sharika Jackson. Actually, we have four. We have Natasha Morris, who will be in Heat 3. Finals will be at 2:50, which is just an hour after. There is three in the women's 400 meters semifinal. We have Candace McLeod and Nikisha Price and Cherokee Young, and we should be expecting at least 4 medals today once we get to those finals. And if you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.